'Tis I, Bulldog. Thank you for coming. Indeed, my cup is full. Ugh. My bowl is full. And my hand is full of stitches. Ah! Yeah, not to worry though, folks. Everything will be taken out very shortly. So, on that news, it is good news. Yeah, I had the wonderful opportunity to sit down with my good friend Ape, and we talked about magic and sort of, I guess it's a basic primer, one could say. Yeah, thank you for coming today. I look forward to seeing you after the interview. So I guess I should just say, take it away, boys. Ape and Bulldog. All right. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce my next guest. This is Ape. Ape is I guess, wizard, magic practitioner extraordinaire, and when we're out and about, my own personal genie. So it's a pleasure to have you, Ape. Thank you for jumping in on Bulldog's show.
Thanks, man. It's good to be here. Long time listener, first time guest. Uh, I'd oh shit. Um, yeah, I think I can add to that intro. I figure I just realized I'm like the Nicolas Cage of the mystic world. Um,
Awesome. You look great. You look great, brother. You look amazing.
Thanks. I just got back from like a 2 hour walk where it's like super humid and I decided to carry like 20 pounds on my back. So,
And
nice sweaty mess sitting in this chair, which is fine. I'm cool with it.
I'm sitting here and I'm sweating. It is bloody hot outside.
You know what? Like the funny thing about it is like I will join in on the it's so hot. I'm dying. I hate sweating. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, fuck you. I don't mind sweating. Is it hot? Sure. Is it weather? Yeah, absolutely. It's
Mm.
summertime. Enjoy. Because all winter, all you're going to do is complain about how fucking cold it is.
But it's it's one or the other, right? You can't.
Oh,
There's
man.
no. I can't get no satisfaction, right?
Well, yeah. And I mean, like, honestly, and like I know everybody who's been on vacation or anybody who's lived abroad will tell you, back when I lived. Well, okay, so the one fun thing about like living on the equator for a short period of time is you learn to appreciate all the seasons because man, when it's 40 fucking degrees outside every day, all humid, it's like, yeah, yeah,
But
you learn to just suck it up
it's
because what are
either
you gonna do about it?
it's either plus a bazillion or raining and plus a bazillion, right? So
Yeah, so I mean, like, or there's a fucking typhoon, you know,
oh
like,
man.
and who the fuck has how many people have been through like a monsoon or a typhoon or something? I mean, outside of everybody living there,
Yeah.
you know.
It must
Here we're
it must be quite the must be quite the adventure standing there and watching, rain go sideways.
I mean, I mean, yeah, watching people's roofs blow off and like you're like looking for the tornado and realize, oh shit, they don't have those here.
It's just the
And
weather.
if you see one, it's over the water, and god damn, is it terrifying.
Oh, I could imagine.
You know,
so
like
hey, let's get into the things here.
yeah.
How did you get to practice magic? What would you say is the beginning of the calling for you to dive into the next
Oh,
level?
Oh man, I honestly, it's the lamest fucking thing.
Really?
Oh
Well,
man,
feel
yeah, no,
free.
no, no. Well, get this. Okay, so um, by the time I was like 10 years old, I had read like the entirety, like at the time period, the entirety of the Dragon Riders series, Mists of Avalon. I just ate Arthurian legend up, like King Arthur, Robin Hood, all this shit. Well, okay, great. So there's all these stories of Magick and Merlin and all these other wizards, and I'm like, well, these are books. Can you do this in real life? So I went searching, found the occult section in my local library because get this, they used to have them.
Occult sections.
Yeah, absolutely. Where they had books with spellcraft, they had Crowley books, like we're talking like almost for me almost 40 years ago. So I've been at this over, yeah, like I'm 45 this year, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. It was almost 40 years ago, and libraries still had occult sections, and I just started eating it all, you know? And it it set me on a very fun, dark path, but eventually I am here, you
Wa-
know?
Was there any particular uh, character book? I mean, like character author that really sort of was like, okay, oh wow, yeah. This is it. This is possible. This is a thing that I
Well,
could easily, well, not easily, but this is a thing that is able to be accomplished.
oh, sure. Because of the way they're written, um, like once you dive into the meat of it all, you know, A.E. Waite, uh, Alpheus Levi, Crowley. If you read those books like a couple times, like if you read their writings a couple times, things start to pop out at you. And because I was at an age where my imagination was still very like in the forefront of my development, it's like my imagination came first.
Mm.
My identity came second. So if if you're reading all this stuff and you have a vivid imagination, these things they're possible before you even understand what they're saying. And that's, I mean, to like from the years 10 to 15, my understanding to me was like this. I get it. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, I'm eating it up. Everything, I get it all. But
Mm-hmm.
really my understanding was like this. Like it was a drop in the bucket. And yeah, I mean, so the few things that did really pop out, well, they really worked.
Mm-hmm.
When it says like visualize, with a vivid imagination, you can visualize so easy. Everything comes so easy. Visualization magic ends up being the first thing you learn without you even understanding what that is.
So the thoughts that you put forward are the things that'll affect the reality around you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's probably one of the oldest forms of magic out there. Um, before there was the written word, what were people doing? They were putting their intentions forth. They were picturing it. They were throwing bones and reading signs and whatever. So it as long as you have an imagination, you can accomplish just about anything you're setting out to do within this like mystic sort of world.
Hmm. Interesting. So would you say that your approach to magic is a lot has I guess it, as all things do, they change. Would you say that your own style is indicative of where you are now, or would you would you say that you're still kind of towards the masters, or how does that sort of fit?
Um, well, I mean, like I don't know. I encourage people. I encourage people to carve their own path and to sort of do their thing. But but if you're going to do it, you should understand. You should at least have some basic understanding. Like all things, you know. You
Mhm.
should have some basic understanding as to. I just realized. Sorry, I'm gonna cut myself off for a second. I have two pairs of sunglasses on. Are you fucking kidding me?
Ah!
I'm like, what the fuck is this thing on my head? Oh, it's an extra pair of sunglasses. Oh, and they're like, oh, that guy really is a douchebag. Way to go. No,
It's quite
no.
all right. At work, I have a tendency when I'm welding and all that. I'll have I'll grab a pair of safety glasses and throw it on. Then I'll put it up, right, and I'll go do something. I was like, "Where the hell are the safety? Oh, there's another pair." Throw on another pair of safety glasses and do some more work. And then you pull them up, and you don't really notice, and all of a sudden you have like 4 pairs of safety glasses on your head, and you look
Yeah,
like
you have a safety helmet.
right. It's the safest thing. At least I'm safe. At least I'm
Yeah,
safe.
yeah. Every single one of your eyes is gonna be protected.
Third, third through 20.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
uh,
mean, so pretentious to have extra sunglasses on. I'm only wearing these because like this ring light is blasting me right in the eyes. So
yeah,
I normally don't uh have conversations with these on.
that's fine.
So
I have 3 set up, and I just bought a brand new webcams because the old one is a piece of shit. So I went and bought a better one. And but that has a ring light too. So I got 3 ring lights, just like I'm like,
perfect. Every interview you get a suntan.
all right. Well, at least I'm well covered. That's the main thing, right?
Well,
So,
that's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so what you were saying is the carving your own path, but you wouldn't start off by binding an angel in your living room for your first outing of
I
that.
I don't I wouldn't do that. I don't condone doing that. I don't fucking whatever you're calling forth. I don't. There are people out there. I don't have to name them. We all know who they are. Where you will come across their videos and they will say things like, if you're a beginner, a novice, this is your first spell, you know, whatever, you can call forth a demon, you can invoke angels. I'm like, I, I, sure,
Sure.
totally, you totally can. You totally can. And you know what? You know what? It's going to be the most mind blowing, pants shitting ordeal you've ever been through. Because there's, you know, that there's people out there that are like, oh, you know, I got nuts this big and I'm gonna do it. And yeah, yeah, cool. Like, go for it, go for it. And then you got people like me to call to help you fix it. Because I wish there was somebody like me around when I was a kid fucking shit up.
Yeah.
You know, it took me 20 years to fix mistakes I made.
Yeah.
You know, and
Well,
that's kind of a
when you're working with things that a lot of people don't understand, well, we had that conversation at one time when I watched Host, I think it was,
hmm.
where the Zoom meeting where they decide to do a seance and like call out spirits and like do like that. So, and then everything just kind of goes tits up, and like people start like getting like things are opening and moving behind them, and eventually leads to their death. Magic isn't inherently dangerous, though, you'd say?
No, not I mean, no. Uh, Fuck, that's a loaded question, really, because if I say no, I'm lying. If I say yes, I'm also lying. So the answer is magic is only as dangerous as you make it. And so the reality of it is if you don't know all the steps, like there's no for certain things there's no corner cutting. There's no dicking about. It's definitely not a game, depending on what you're doing. Like okay, if you're you know your basics, if you're doing your basics, you're calling you're doing the circle, or you're consecrating an altar, or you know just little things. You're doing little things for yourself, whatever. You're in relatively no you're in no danger. But there's something to be said about your, I want to say, mental well-being when you don't take the proper steps for certain things.
Again, it's what
Invoking your
well
hmm?
what I said earlier. You don't want to go and call down uh, from the seventh Sephiroth. You know what I mean? You don't want to like be pulling out angels from like the higher states of being without
uh
running before you walk, basically.
yeah, I'm very much a big believer in learning to walk. There's steps. When you're a baby, you roll, and then you crawl, and then you stand, and then you walk, and then the sky's the limit. You're fucking running. I get it.
Mm.
I get it. Magic is it's a lot like that. And that's all. Again, that's all depending on what it is that you're looking to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not
Intention.
saying, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kids out there, and I'm not shitting on it. I'm not saying don't do it. Everybody wants to play with a Ouija board. Everybody wants to have a seance. Everybody wants to see a ghost. Everybody wants to, like, you know,
Mm.
every it, everyone wants to poke a bear when they see one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You do. That is.
If you find something dead on the road, what's the first thing you do? You fucking pick up a stick and you poke at it, right?
Mm.
Well, depending on the size of it, that stick could release something you don't want.
Yeah.
And so the more uh, it's so hard to say, because I say this one thing, and there's always going to be like a dozen detractors on this, or you know going, oh, but you forgot, or what about, it differs, right? It differs for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Is it inherently dangerous? No. Can it be? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do certain things take a toll on you mentally? For sure. For sure. And that's something that we never take into consideration. You
But
know, that
yeah, I mean, especially with dealing with forces that are inherently beyond our reckoning, except for those who have gone before and have transversed and like practiced as you do, and all that, and that, or who are able to understand it at a different level, and allow for others to sort of walk in your footsteps.
for sure. And I mean, I like, okay, just as like a prime example, and I know this is a touchy subject, but even just like reading the Necronomicon, okay, the whether you read the one that's anonymous or the one by Simon, not the H.P. Lovecraft one, but the Lovecraftian-esque
Mm-hmm.
uh Necronomicon that we all have a copy of, you know?
Yeah.
It's like most people's first books nowadays are like the Satanic Bible and the Necronomicon, and everybody wants to fucking do the thing. And it's great. Except when you read it, and you actually read it and read the descriptions of everything, you know, one of those things is like this giant 7 or 8 foot dude in a cloak whose like whole fucking head is just intestines, and he talks out of a fucking farting butthole.
Mm-hmm.
Who, A, why?
Mm-hmm.
And B, if you were actually to sit down and think about this, is this the type of encounter you want straight out the gate?
Is this what you want to do right now?
Like,
yeah. No.
I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying don't. And I'm not saying, oh, you shouldn't do it because you can't handle it. I'm just saying, think about this
Just
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Eh,
You are going to have this entity. Like, I don't,
manifest.
if you, like, it's easy to go as a, like, it's easy to say, oh, I can handle whatever. If you've never seen the insides of a human body
Mm-hmm.
or any animal, you've never smelt that smell. And I'm not saying it smells like shit. That's the minutest part of it. But you've got these slick and shiny, pulsating uh, intestines, and I mean, I've been there. I've seen them in real life.
Mm-hmm. You worked at
It's
a
not.
well, you worked at a mortuary too, didn't you?
I worked in a. I worked in a funeral home when I was in high school.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's lots of interesting. Ah!
Things. I've seen some things.
Well, you've seen a lot of things. You were saying that live south of the border. Where else have you studied abroad for these
Well,
understand for building your repertoire, as it were?
um, I guess like so like nothing under anybody, but any place I go, I try to invest a little into like learning the folklore. I I want to travel to little cemeteries or whatever. And so I learn a little bit about the mysticism about where I am, and what you know kind of the cultural uh magics that people have going on. I'm never gonna ask. I'll always be one of those people that, like, while I'm looking into, have somebody volunteer,
So,
because
well, so what you're saying is you don't go down to New Orleans and ask to see the local witch doctor. Usually, he'll just show up and be like,
don't
"Hey."
find me. And that's not a I'm so fucking important sort of thing. It's if you are looking in the right places, the right people will find you. Because if you I never want to be one of those people. I never want to be one of those people who uh who says, "Oh, I fucking know it all."
Mhm.
I never want to be one of those people who goes, "Oh, there's nothing left for me to learn," because that's not true.
Mhm.
Even if it's a better way to look at things,
Mhm.
or a different way to look at things, you're never done learning. And I think that's like a big mistake that a lot of people make. Not everyone.
But a
I
lot of
never
people.
yeah. I mean, you know, nobody's got anything to show me. Oh, fuck that. No. I will learn just as much, or I have the potential of learning just as much from somebody who's just starting out as I would um as I would for somebody that's been in it longer than I have.
Yeah.
Cuz everybody has a different view on things.
Mm.
If it works for me, that's cool. If it doesn't, that's cool too. And that goes for anything, you
Mm.
know. It, when people ask, well, is this real? Or what books are real and what books aren't? I'm like, well, none of it's real and all of it is.
Mm.
Because what works for me or for you isn't the same as what works for, the next person.
Yeah.
And I think that's super magical.
Mm. Absolutely.
So it's because if there was only one system, or there was only like high magic and low magic and nothing in between, and there was no room to write your own history, and there was no room to step into somebody else's world, um yeah,
So
I think
so
that it would be
so
boring.
so the dichotomy of magic as it, because a lot of stuff, I pick up along the way. You hear about the right hand path, the left hand path, and chaos magic. Like,
Hmm.
is that sort of what you're touching on there in regards to creating your own path, as it were, or do you feel that those particular aspects of magic are valid and maybe a necessity to have?
Well, I mean, it's all valid.
Mm.
It's just whether it works for you or not.
Mm.
Some people they work best when they have that rigid structure of high magic,
Mm.
like that ritual magic, which has, like, for everyone, has a time and a place. Whether you grow from it or away from it or whatever, like it all has its place for you. But it if you don't understand it, or you don't have a
Good
not a
handle.
grasp, or like, no, not even, because like you could read everything you want on high magic, and trust me, there's tons of books out there and very informative.
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. But it doesn't mean that there isn't aspects of a high magic, like of a ritual magic, in every single, like, uh type of magic out there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like every country, every culture, every grouping, whatever, there is that, like, there is that ritual magic.
Mm.
There's that low magic, the everyday magic.
Yeah.
And it's whatever they want to call it. And then there's each individual's personal magic.
Mm.
It doesn't matter what you think about it. It doesn't matter uh, whether you understand it. It's out there, and you only have to understand what's true for you. And but uh, should you check it out? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So how would you, like, if say I'm coming at this as like a total novice, like, hell, even like you said, there's the people that just read the Necronomicon and the Satanic Bible. If I just say walk into your shop, which is right now you're working out of Facebook. You have a thing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I work at a home.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I do a lot of recommendations if I don't have it.
All right. Well, we'll plug all your stuff later on,
Yeah,
like all
yeah,
that. But
yeah.
but so say I'm a new person. We see the podcast. I want to know more, but I have no idea where to start. What would you sort of, here you go, kids, Magic primer, what, from starting from ground up, let's say, just like to make sure that we don't have 20 years in the making of having to like banish or work on stuff that you might have pulled from the ether.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a few books you can start with, and like let's stick with Western. Let's stick with Western magic. Because it's actually probably one of the easiest ones to find and start with, and then you can branch out from there. But um, I recommend starting out with like something super super simple. It's Buckland's. I don't know. Can you see that?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Sure.
there you go.
I'll just. It's Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft,
Mhm.
and it gives you the basics for all kinds of witchcraft. Talks about the tools. It talks about alphabets and ritual and all kinds of fun shit. It's it's a really really decent. I recommend this a lot when people ask me. Another book, which again, it just recently, uh, like in the last couple years, got put back together as one solid volume. Because there was a short period of time where you could buy them as one book, and then it got split up into two parts, which means you have to spend more money on it. But really, it's called the Magus, and volumes one and two, and you can now get them. You can now get them again as one solid volume. And again, this is going to uh, give you tables, and it's gonna and talismans, teach you a bit about Kabbalah, uh, like Kabbalistic magic, not not the faith-based religion.
Jewish, the mystic Kabbalah as opposed to the religious.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got a bit about alchemy. It's got a bit about, and it just some ceremonial magic, some Enochian magic, like a little bit of everything, just so you can, just so you have a little bit of understanding when you start to, um,
dive into the other stuff.
yeah, and I mean, really those two books are a great little set to have so that you can read them like 100 times.
Mhm.
You know, read them, understand them, or whatever, or throw them away after you've read them once because it doesn't mean anything to you.
Mhm.
But at least you have like an idea of what you're looking forward to, or how you want to go.
Need
You know,
navigation. Yeah.
yeah, like there's other books. There's other books. If those things don't uh tickle your fancy, there's
I
books
was just thinking that.
on Norse magic where um it starts from the beginning and sort of puts you little bits into each. There's books on alchemy. Um how a great uh two really interesting books that I read. I mean, one years ago, and then again recently, and one that I just got a few years ago and read it. So the Black Pullet is a wonderful story uh, set to sigil magic, where it's this dude's introduction into becoming a mage or a magi sort of dude. Um, and then there's the Middle Eastern version of this called oh, what the hell was it? I have it, so I'll just grab it. It is um oh, here it is. It's called The Black Path, and it's again a little bit more modern in its writing, but it's now instead of learning the um, Abrahamic sort of mystic arts, you're learning Middle Eastern or Jinn work. So, and where the like it seems very dark, but at the same time, it's not like there's no real difference. It does emphasize the seriousness of working with Jinn, uh, but it's again, it's the tale of a soldier. So in the Black Pullet, it's a knight during, I believe, the Crusades,
Mm-hmm.
and like this is same region. Like really, it's Egypt versus in the Black Path, it's Tangiers.
Mm-hmm.
So um so very, very like very close to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Um
I was in Tangiers, Morocco, right?
yeah.
That's yeah. I was in Tangiers. It was quite the experience. I've
Oh, I bet.
a guy offered me an entire rug that would have filled a room for my football ring back in the day. It was and they're dedicated too. I get the largest rug in my shop for that ring, and I'm like, dude, it's like a football thing. Looking back, I should have taken the rug because I could always get the ring remade. Oh, I lost it. Yeah, here's a big
Yeah, yeah,
rug,
yeah.
mom and dad.
Well, those rugs get hung on the wall, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
my doctor had a bunch of them, and it's like
Oh, no.
the amount of stitching that goes into them is it's absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like like in that area of the world, there's so many different types of magic. It's rich with it. And there's religious magic and there's non-religious magic, because like anything, magic is all faith-based, and it's not faith in, excuse me, any one deity, although there's that is an aspect of a lot of it. It's what it comes right down to is you have to have faith in yourself and your abilities, and in what you're doing is going to work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um so it yeah, I mean it's all different, but it's all the same, I guess, is the long and the short of it.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, yeah, I mean, recommending things, I recommend lots at the beginning. It just depends on what you're looking for, really. So I
It's
with
such
West.
well, it's so nice to have somebody like you as a friend. You're sort of my encyclopedia go to. Like I said at the beginning, you're my genie. Really, like it's just like this. I have friends on the other side, absolutely, right? Like it's
Yeah.
and that
Yeah,
way.
well, yeah.
Well, that way,
I mean,
too, if you feel like stuff's following you, you're like, hey, I need a thing to get rid of this, this, right? It's okay, here, take
let me
this.
make you a thing.
Let me make you a thing. Let me mix all this together here. Sprinkle that on your doorstep, and you'll be good for at least a month.
Yeah. Till we can figure something out stronger or whatever.
This will keep it at bay for now, and then we'll work on you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing. So, but you do tarot readings and all that as well, right?
Oh man, yeah, I do. Yeah, I read tarot, which I always am open to taking, appointments for.
Mhm.
I make a myriad of products, bath salts, magic salts, uh, body butter, anything that I can infuse a little bit of magic into, I do, right? Like, um,
Candles, incense
yeah,
too.
yeah, I make candles to order, really.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I don't often have just candles readily made. I will, but they're gonna be very basic.
Like
Um,
good fortune come my way type deal. It's
Mostly
not
like clearing and protecting,
okay.
but yeah, like energizing, but nothing like, um, I can make a ton of recommendations uh for other things. You want something unique, you want something very, very specific.
Yeah.
I'll make it, you know.
I guess that's sort of the thing involving magic. Anyway, you want to be very, very, like you said, focused. Like you want it to not be a wandering, open-ended question. It should be more to the point, correct?
Well, no, not always, not always. That's why, I mean, there are people out there that are making products that I absolutely love. I do, and I cannot recommend them enough.
Mhm.
Um, but but if you're asking me to do a job, or you're asking me for a very, very specific thing, well, I have it. For everything else, I make wonderfully magical massage oils, hair oils, uh, just wake up scents, relax scents, hell, I'll make you up some magical blends for your Scentsy, those wonderful oil misters.
Mhm.
Whatever. I make jewelry, I make like you want crystals to make you feel good, you want crystals to weigh you down, you want crystals so that you can vibe better out in the world, lower your anxiety, or help you blend in better. Cool, I got you. you know
Yeah, yeah,
I got
absolutely.
you. You want book recommendations, you want books. I am building up that book library for sale. uh I've got tarot cards for sale. um I
Well,
have
when I first saw that you're starting to sell off all these books, I was like, you're right, bud. Everything's good. And then
oh yeah.
I was like, well, that's just my first reaction. I was like, oh no, like, are you getting out? Like, what you got? All the people I thought, like, no way. But then you explained, it's like you have such a vast array of library anyway, so it's
Oh yeah, and I mean, like, I I like to share.
mm,
I like to share. If I've got it and you want it, you can buy it.
yeah.
You know,
Do you have any?
and
What's the oldest book, like magic book that you have?
the oldest,
Yeah, say from like the one of the. Do you have any like ancient grimoire or any particular book from, say, somebody who's like out of print, old ancient mage, I suppose? Any stuff like that, or
Oh, I mean, I'll be honest. Okay, look, if you can get your hands on like original printings and shit, take them.
hmm.
You might not be able to use them, you might not, but I've learned something. Doesn't matter if I find a book from the 70s or the 1900s or earlier. None of that actually matters because it's all been reprinted.
Yeah,
But like if we're talking like, oh, what books do I look at that like how far back have I gone? I have a copy somewhere of the Picatrix. I have uh the Grimoire Verum, the you know like books and books anybody can get.
yeah.
Like I don't have like I was stupid when I was younger.
Oh no.
No,
Really?
because I just well like anything. Like okay, so you know like people fight over Pokemon cards nowadays or like Magic the Gathering cards and stuff. Like I didn't collect those. But I got suckered out of a bunch of really expensive baseball cards when I was younger.
Oh no.
And like I didn't like I'm not like I'll save stuff and then I'll lend stuff away. So if I have my hands on something like old, I'd probably let somebody borrow it. I didn't care. It's just stuff.
All right, yeah,
It's,
true.
you know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
I go, oh man, fuck, I'm missing that. I'm gonna have to get a new copy. I don't care if it's new or if it's old.
Hmm.
I just I have a copy,
Oh, of
you
course.
know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And and now with the way digital like the way you can read things digitally where you can save pages, you can underline stuff, you can copy little sections so that you can move it to an important thing, whatever.
Hmm.
Man, I got tons of books digital.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've got old papers that have just been scanned. I've got like, you know, whatever. I've got whole satanic libraries or, you know, whatever. I don't care. If I can use it, I will. This whole like, yeah, I love the way paper books smell, sure. You ever pick up a fucking book and if you don't smoke and you go and you buy a book that you're so excited about having from a used bookstore, and as you're flipping through it, just wafting this like old
Wow.
dirt wizard fucking it
Got
it
secondhand cancer.
it just smells like cigarettes and unwashed balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody goes, no, 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 that's the smell of magic. No, that's the smell of chain smoking and masturbating over magic books.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I mean, I'm gonna get off topic for a second because this is fun. Um,
This
the,
is this is my podcast. Welcome to the podcast family, Abe. Eventually, again, I'll probably get you back on because you're really interesting. Maybe we could like
I mean, that's cool.
sit down
I
and focus on a. Yeah, right now it's just basically this is my good friend Abe, and
I mean, yeah,
he's
I
awesome.
could
And
I sure I'll come back on
like
for an
maybe
encore.
well maybe we could do like a deep dive Crowley thing and just
Oh
like
yeah, sure,
but
sure.
that, you know what I mean, like just like have a good topic and be like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh
But so so of recent, like more often now than not. Okay, so depending on how old uh people out there are. Um, there's a very specific smell to an era of of Playboys and Hustlers and like
yes,
Penthouse magazines. And
yes.
it didn't matter how long they had been like sitting in the forest or wherever you're finding them, your dad's garage, under your grandpa's bed, whatever. the bookstore down the street. There was
Yes.
a very specific smell to them,
Oh, absolutely. I,
and like this sickly, sweet perfume, like, but it also of ink. Like there's something in the ink of those magazines that just gave off this smell, and the pages, the paper, and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was quite the you're right. And it's sadly I feel bad for the kids nowadays that they don't get that rush of cracking open a fresh porno mag.
Never
And
mind a fresh
no,
one.
no, you know what I
Forest
mean? No, no,
pornos,
that's what I
dude.
mean. Foreigners, but I mean fresh is in like I've never seen these tits before. I've never
Oh
seen
yeah,
that
yeah. I
ass
mean,
before.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, and it's a surprise because every time you turn the page, it's a brand new adventure.
So like of recent, the reason why I bring this up, of recent, walking around, I every once in a while you'll hit a pocket in a neighborhood, and you just like smell that. It's like it's in the trees or something, and you're like, ah, this takes me back. And
Oh, youth.
it'll make me laugh. It's like this weird, too. Like you walk and you're like, and you take another couple steps and then it's gone,
Mhm.
absolutely gone. Now I don't go searching. Oh, are they somewhere on a? Is this some old pervert trying to lure kids?
kids, kids into yeah,
Or even worse, it's like an adult snare. So like
yeah.
I'm only trying to trap adults.
Yeah, right into a Bugs Bunny trap too. Is oh,
Oh,
there's a
it'd be the
porn
worst.
whomp. you're in
Yeah,
the you're in the
it's one of those crates with the sticks, and you're that little kid. Ooh, piece of candy. Yeah, no,
oh,
no.
look, there's a portal mag. I
Yeah,
haven't seen one of these and clunk. Oh no, I'm trapped
yeah,
forever.
you're the idiot road runner that can't run fast anymore.
Oh, I wasn't fast anyway. I'm surprised. Like uh, when I was in team sports, we did the laps around everything. I was either last or second to last. It did not matter.
Oh
It
man,
was
yeah,
I
yeah.
was
I feel you.
but you know I had hustle and that counted. I got on when I played for the football back in 2000. I got on that because I was the first one to every drill. I was the first one there. It didn't matter. I was the first one there.
You had
And
heart, kid.
oh yeah, well that's the thing. And then like eventually like running backs would sprint. I'd sprint to the next one. I'm like, yep, first they like we need somebody to run this play. Yep, first guy up. Me, boom. I'd be the first one up. Yep, let's do this. And then yeah, so heart and hustle. I tell you, it's the thing that they'll get you by in life.
I mean, it will. It absolutely. I was slow as shit. I was 5'3" for a very long time. Bigger feet than I had brains, and I looked like a walking pierogi. Um, it's mostly because that term, like you are what you eat. Well, back then, I ate a lot of those because they're
uh,
delicious. I don't care what anybody says. And
you're not getting argument from this end of the discussion. So
yeah, and when you live in a home where they're like, well, not live, but you visit a lot, where those things are fucking handmade,
oh
you
yeah,
know?
my
Yeah, my
brother
grandma and her sisters.
my brother married into a Ukrainian family. Oh
Oof.
my Jesus, dude. The food, and it's like it's not when you leave there, you're never wanting for
I mean,
sure.
there's things I'm never wanting anyways. Head cheese. I
My
tried that
dad
once
eats
when I was a kid.
my dad eats that. I have no idea. I have no dad eats a lot of interesting things. He got me on
Well,
pickled herring and that, so
no, I'm good. I tried that once too.
sure.
Like head cheese is such an amazing food because we here look at it as uh Hey, did I go black and white on your end? Hold on.
No, you're still in glorious Technicolor here.
Oh, that's cool. Why did my, oh yeah, hold on. I'm gonna, oh, there we go. I put this weird, son of a bitch. I put this weird thing on my phone where it like at night it goes to black and white, like it just brings it all down. It's like, okay, you're getting ready to
Mellow out
not
for the
touch me
night.
anymore.
You get
Um,
mellow for the evening.
yeah.
Hmm.
But it usually shows up at the worst times. So anyway, yeah, head cheese is this really nowadays it's predominantly made with ham hocks.
Oh no, like pig head is the way
Oh
that I
yeah,
heard.
yeah. So it should be all the best parts. The cheeks, which uh, listen, the cheeks on any animal, they are apparently the tastiest part of the entire beast
Mm-hmm.
because it's just tender ass fucking meat.
Look at these
So
cheeks. Look at the cheeks of my kitty.
I
Anyway,
see
yeah.
them. That's a tasty animal.
Mwah.
Shouldn't say that out loud. Shouldn't. A lot of people will get mad. But I have I have been around, folks, and I've eaten a lot of things.
Of
Um,
course, of course.
I mean, I've always been a big proponent. I mean, when you grow up being told you should try everything at least once, uh,
That's sometimes not the best advice, is it? You know,
it's
like
not, it's not, it's not.
what's
But
your
I mean, if it's put on your plate, if it's put on your plate, or you're in someone's home, uh, like. I used to allow things to limit me. There are certain things I can't eat, like shellfish. I will
Mhm.
always say no. But uh, there's a like Christopher Moore wrote a book called anyway, it's about Jesus, but uh written from the point of view of his best friend Levi.
All right.
And I wish I could remember the name of this book because it's absolutely hilarious. But there's a phrase in it that that kind of stuck with me, and that's sometimes you got to eat the bacon. And the whole part of that is because if somebody offers you food,
Mm.
and if you're in their home or you're out in a different part of the world or whatever, um, that that could very well be all there is.
Absolutely.
And I've been pulled into people's homes or I've been offered meals in places where uh, I was given more than they actually had. And you can't refuse certain things, or you shouldn't refuse certain things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, take every piece of candy that's offered to you by a person, but um the whole idea, like when you're in your own home, do whatever.
Mm.
But if you're out and about in the world, um, sometimes you just got to eat the bacon because that might be all there is.
And you know what? On that note, I'm I think we'll wrap that there. That's a
Sounds good, man.
dandy way to sometimes kids you gotta eat the bacon.
You just got to eat the bacon, man.
So Ape, is there feel free to take this moment to plug away any particular your services, phone number, email, what have, or websites that you're wanting to promote?
Right now, the best places to find me are on Instagram or on Facebook. You can find me on both of those platforms under Ape of the Dust. Uh, the business name will change eventually, but if you get on board now, you can see things as they're added. You can interact with me either through Instagram or I think through the business account on Facebook. Uh, my phone number's there.
Right.
Uh, you know, yeah, I'm easy to find. Uh, and once you're there, hopefully we'll all become friends.
Perfect.
So yeah, reach out. Not all the products are up yet, but they're slowly being added. I am a very I I procrastinate a lot, especially when it comes to making my own money. Uh, which sounds terrible, but I mean, I love money, but I also realize it's not as important sometimes as relaxing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if you want to see something, ask me. I will, whatever, explain it, send it, whatever. So yeah, I, one of those things.
Awesome. All right. Thanks again, Ape. Again, it was an absolute pleasure to have this opportunity to sit down and chat with you.
Hey man,
And
thanks for having me as usual. Wonderful to see you.
wonderful to see you too, my friend. And again,
Thanks, dude.
I'll definitely have you back.
Oh man, yeah.
All right.
I'll do this again.
Blessings to you, my friend. Cheers.
Take care. Bye.
Goddamn hands don't work. See what I have to put up with? My God. But boy, that was an interesting conversation, wasn't it? Wow. I had to cut it short. We could have been there all night. So, thanks again, Ape, for being on my podcast. School to you, my friend. So, his social media, again, it will be in the description. Ape of the Dust on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, you can find me, Bulldog 666999 on all social media platforms. I guess that's it. Oh, here would be where I'd once again plug someone. If anybody's interested, we can talk. A wink. And next week, I'll be interviewing Jake Disman. I hear he's quite the sound individual. Ha ha. You'll see what that is later. Anyway, once more, thank you again for coming, my friends. Score.